The city of Vienna has always been a place where history whispers from the grand architecture of its palaces and the quiet majesty of its cobblestone streets. It is a city that naturally commands a sense of occasion, drawing thinkers, leaders, and icons from every corner of the globe into its unique cultural embrace. On this particular evening, the atmosphere in the Austrian capital was charged with a distinct electric anticipation that could be felt long before the main events even began to unfold. Crowds gathered along the sweeping boulevards, and the soft hum of conversation among journalists and spectators alike hinted that something extraordinary was about to take place. In the world of global celebrity and high-stakes advocacy, certain figures possess an undeniable gravity that pulls the eyes of the world toward them whenever they emerge from the shadows of their private lives. Yet, what truly captivated the onlookers gathered in Vienna was not merely the promise of a high-profile gathering, but the rare chance to witness a deeply personal chapter of a legendary life unfolding in real time. It is in these fleeting, highly anticipated moments that the public gets a glimpse beneath the carefully constructed armor of an international superstar, revealing the quiet forces and the dedicated partners who anchor them behind the scenes of their monumental achievements. Before we dive deeper into the remarkable details of this rare public appearance and the incredible story that brought these individuals together on the global stage, take a quick moment to subscribe to our channel. By subscribing, you ensure that you will never miss our deep dives into the lives of your favorite icons, exclusive event coverage, and the untold stories behind the headlines that shape our world. Turning your notifications on helps us bring you more of this high-quality, deeply researched content every single day. So join our community now as we uncover the layers of this fascinating narrative. As the doors of the grand venue opened and the prestigious Austrian World Summit commenced, the sheer scale of the event became immediately apparent to everyone in attendance. The summit itself represents a critical nexus of global effort, a platform where the past, present, and future collide in a shared mission to address some of the most pressing challenges facing our planet today. The corridors were filled with an impressive array of international dignitaries, visionary thinkers, and influential leaders, creating an environment where every conversation carried the weight of global impact. Among the notable figures navigating this prestigious gathering were former United States Vice President Kamala Harris and Austria President Alexander Van der Bellen, both representing the highest echelons of international leadership and diplomatic engagement. Their presence alone underscored the immense gravity of the summit, elevating the proceedings to a matter of paramount global significance. Yet, even in a room occupied by individuals who routinely command the attention of entire nations, a palpable shift in the room's energy occurred when a legendary figure stepped into the light. This was a gathering where every individual possessed a storied history, but few could match the pure, cross-generational cultural impact of the man whose homecoming this event truly represented at 78 years old. The towering figure of the action movie icon and former governor of California naturally commanded the room, his larger-than-life persona as vibrant and magnetic as it has been for over half a century. Having transitioned seamlessly from the pinnacle of professional bodybuilding to the absolute apex of Hollywood stardom, and later to the highest levels of American civic leadership, his journey is nothing short of mythic. But on this momentous evening in Vienna, the focus of the flashing cameras and the murmuring crowds extended beyond his individual legacy to the woman standing gracefully by his side. Making a remarkably rare and highly anticipated public appearance, his 51-year-old long-term partner, Heather Milligan, accompanied him into the spotlight, marking a significant departure from their usually fiercely guarded privacy. For 14 years, their relationship has quietly endured and flourished completely outside the relentless glare of the Hollywood press, making this joint appearance at the summit a truly monumental occasion for fans and commentators worldwide. Standing together against the backdrop of the Schwarzenegger Climate Initiative, the couple presented a picture of elegant solidarity, their shared presence speaking volumes about a bond that has been carefully nurtured away from the prying eyes of the public for nearly a decade and a half. Heather Milligan has successfully achieved what few people associated with international superstars ever managed to do, which is to maintain a completely independent life, a thriving professional career, and an absolute sense of privacy. As an elite sports physical therapist who has spent years working at the absolute top of her field, she has dedicated her life to the rigorous science of human performance, rehabilitation, and athletic longevity. Her client roster has historically included professional athletes, Olympian contenders, and high-performance individuals who rely on her precise expertise to rebuild their bodies after devastating injuries. This background of intense professional dedication and scientific mastery allowed her to navigate the world with a self-assurance that owes absolutely nothing to the fame of her partner. Because she has spent her career in the demanding world of professional sports medicine, she has never sought the superficial validation of the red carpet or the ceaseless chatter of celebrity gossip columns. This fiercely protected independence is precisely what made her decision to step out publicly in Vienna so incredibly profound, signaling to the world that the cause they were supporting was worthy of breaking their golden rule of absolute media privacy. The rare sight of the couple standing side by side in the heart of Europe immediately sent shockwaves through the entertainment and news media, as journalists scrambled to document every detail of their interaction. The sheer rarity of their public outings has turned every single appearance into a historic event for their legions of followers around the globe. To put the significance of this Vienna appearance into perspective, one has to look back to their incredibly sparse public timeline over the preceding months. The last time the couple had been glimpsed by the public eye was during a quiet, low-profile dinner date at the exclusive Nobu Malibu back in April, an evening where they managed to slip in and out of the venue with minimal fanfares. Prior to that private evening in California, their only other notable emergence into the media spotlight was an exceptional red carpet appearance at the Los Angeles premiere of the highly anticipated second series of his hit Netflix show, Fubar. These moments are so few and far between that they have taken on a near mythic quality among those who follow the legendary actor's life, creating a deep sense of intrigue about the true nature of their enduring partnership. As they stood together in Vienna, surrounded by the highest levels of global leadership, the true depth of their journey began to resonate, setting the stage for a story that began not in the glamorous halls of a Hollywood gala, but in the quiet, sterile environment of a medical rehabilitation clinic. The intrigue surrounding this remarkable partnership deepens significantly when one uncovers the remarkably grounded and entirely un-Hollywood manner in which their paths first crossed nearly 14 years ago. The year was 2012, and the legendary action icon was facing a pivotal moment of physical vulnerability that threatened to disrupt his highly anticipated return to the silver screen. After completing his historic tenure as the governor of California, the former bodybuilding champion was eager to reclaim his title as the ultimate box office draw, signing on to film the high-octane action thriller Escape Plan alongside his longtime friend and fierce cinematic rival, Sylvester Stallone. The film promised to deliver the kind of raw, physically demanding combat sequences that had defined the golden age of cinema, requiring both men to push their bodies to the absolute limit despite the advancing years. However, decades of lifting immense weights and performing grueling stunts had taken a severe toll on the actor's body, culminating in a serious shoulder injury that required major surgical intervention just as pre-production was ramping up. For a man who had built his entire legacy on an image of absolute, indestructible strength, the reality of a severely compromised shoulder and a looming film schedule created a situation of immense pressure and profound frustration, desperate to fast-track his recovery without compromising his physical integrity. The actor began a frantic search for the absolute best medical and rehabilitative minds available in the country. He did not merely want standard physical therapy, he required an elite level of care that could rebuild a 78-year-old framework into a believable action hero capable of throwing heavy punches, enduring complex stunt choreography, and handling heavy weaponry on set. It was during this high-stakes search that his medical team provided a definitive referral that would forever alter the course of his personal life, pointing him toward an exceptionally talented, fiercely focused specialist operating at the pinnacle of sports medicine. Heather Milligan was already a highly revered figure within the inner circles of professional sports, known for her unparalleled expertise in biomechanics, injury prevention, and rapid athletic rehabilitation. Her private practice was a sanctuary for elite athletes from the NFL, the NBA, and Olympic training programs, individuals whose multi-million-dollar careers depended entirely on her ability to diagnose structural weaknesses and engineer precise, aggressive recovery protocols. When the call came in to treat one of the most recognizable icons in human history, Milligan approached the challenge with the exact same clinical objectivity and consummate professionalism that she applied to every world-class athlete walking through her clinic doors when the Hollywood legend first walked into her rehabilitation facility. He was met not by a starstruck fan, but by a consummate medical professional who viewed him strictly as a patient with a complex structural puzzle that needed to be solved. This immediate dynamic created a refreshing, deeply grounded environment for the actor, who had spent decades surrounded by people constantly eager to please him or cater to his immense celebrity status. Throughout the grueling weeks of his rehabilitation process, their relationship remained strictly and impeccably professional, defined entirely by hard work, physiological data, and intense physical discipline. Milligan pushed the aging icon through a demanding regimen of targeted exercises, manual therapy, and mobility drills designed to restore the full range of motion to his damaged shoulder joint, refusing to give him any special treatment just because of his cinematic legacy. For months, the only conversations they shared were centered entirely around muscle activation, healing timelines, and the mechanical demands of his upcoming film role, establishing a deep foundation of mutual respect that was completely untainted by the superficiality of the entertainment industry. The actor found himself profoundly impressed not only by her masterful knowledge of human anatomy, but by her quiet, unshakable confidence and complete lack of interest in the glamorous trappings of his celebrity lifestyle. As the intense therapy sessions concluded and the actor's shoulder was successfully restored to peak operational capacity, allowing him to confidently head to the movie set and execute the grueling stunts required for escape plan, something fundamental had shifted within him. The professional treatment was officially over and his shoulder was fully healed, but the memory of the fiercely independent, brilliantly talented woman who had rebuilt his body remained vividly present in his mind. Once the film had successfully wrapped production and the intense demands of the promotional tour began to settle, the actor decided to take a bold step into uncharted territory by reaching out to his former therapist on a purely personal level. Showing the same determination that had fueled his rise across 3 distinct industries, he contacted Milligan to officially ask her out on a date, framing it initially as a sincere gesture of gratitude for her incredible work in saving his cinematic comeback. This initial invitation marked the delicate transition from a strictly bounded clinical relationship to the quiet beginnings of a deeply private romance that would defy the conventional expectations of the public and endure for well over a decade. The evolution of their bond over the subsequent 14 years is a testament to their shared commitment to protecting what matters most from the corrosive nature of constant public scrutiny. In an era where celebrity relationships are routinely broadcast across social media platforms and weaponized for public relations purposes, Schwarzenegger and Milligan chose an entirely alternative path, constructing a fortress of privacy around their daily lives. They deliberately designed a lifestyle that allowed them to enjoy the simple, unvarnished pleasures of companionship completely detached from the hyper-visible world of Hollywood elites. This deliberate isolation from the media circus allowed their connection to deepen naturally, grounded in shared values, mutual respect, and a profound appreciation for each other's independent pursuits. The actor, who had spent his entire adult life under the intense microscopic glare of global media, found an unprecedented level of peace and stability in this quiet partnership. Recognizing that Milligan's refusal to exploit his fame was the ultimate proof of her genuine affection. As the years rolled on, their relationship became an immovable anchor in his life, providing a safe harbor of normalcy amidst the chaotic demands of his ongoing global philanthropic efforts, cinematic projects, and public speaking engagements, despite their ironclad rule of avoiding the cameras whenever possible. The legendary actor has occasionally found himself so overwhelmed with pride and affection that he has publicly shattered his own silence to gush about his brilliant partner. These rare, highly significant moments of public praise offer a fascinating window into the specific qualities that have allowed their relationship to thrive across such a significant age difference. During an exceptionally candid interview with People magazine, the action icon spoke with intense emotion about the profound depth of his feelings, openly stating that he was madly in love with Milligan's fierce sense of independence and self-reliance. He explained to the interviewer that he thinks the absolute world of her, noting that one of her most attractive and admirable traits is her absolute passion for her own career and her unwavering commitment to her professional calling. He marveled at how she is completely into her working life, describing her as an individual who is clearly independent and fundamentally driven as hell, possessing an internal motivation that perfectly mirrors his own legendary work ethic and relentless drive for excellence. This public declaration was further reinforced in a separate, highly personal video broadcast where the actor once again took the opportunity to boast about the immense talent and professional standing of his lady love. Speaking directly to an audience of millions, he proudly declared that Heather Milligan is not only his loving girlfriend, but that she is also a truly great, if not arguably the single best physical therapist operating anywhere in the world today. He openly reminded his followers that this exceptional professional skill was the exact reason they had met in the first place, playfully adding that she was the brilliant mind who had successfully fixed his shoulder when everyone else doubted his ability to make a full physical recovery. By focusing his public praise so heavily on her intelligence, her professional mastery, and her fierce independence, the actor made it abundantly clear to the world that their bond is built on something far more substantial than the superficial metrics of Hollywood pairings, setting the stage for a partnership that is as intellectually stimulating as it is emotionally secure. The profound mutual respect that defines this enduring partnership becomes even more significant when looking at the broader context of their individual journeys and the shared ideals that ultimately brought them to the global stage in Vienna. To understand why this rare public emergence at the Austrian World Summit matters so deeply, one must examine the incredible trajectory of Heather Milligan's life and professional career independent of her famous relationship. Long before she ever met the cinematic icon, Milligan had established herself as a formidable force in the fiercely competitive world of elite sports medicine and orthopedic physical therapy. Her journey was paved with years of grueling academic study, rigorous clinical research, and a relentless dedication to understanding the intricate complexities of the human body. By earning advanced certifications and launching her own highly successful, specialized practice, she broke through barriers in a traditionally male-dominated industry, earning the absolute trust of some of the most demanding, high-profile athletes in the world. For Milligan, the human body is not just a collection of muscles and bones, but a high-performance machine capable of incredible resilience when guided by precise scientific principles. A philosophy that perfectly aligned with the lifelong ethos of the man she would eventually heal and love. On the other side of this remarkable pairing is a man whose entire life story reads like an epic testament to the power of human will, self-discipline, and reinvention. Born in a small, rural Austrian village in the aftermath of a devastating global conflict, he rose from absolute obscurity by sheer force of determination, using the sport of bodybuilding as his vehicle to conquer the world. His historic achievement of winning the Mr. Olympia title 7 times completely revolutionized the fitness industry, transforming what was once a fringe subculture into a mainstream global phenomenon. When critics confidently declared that his thick accent and massive physique would prevent him from ever succeeding as an actor in Hollywood, he defied all conventional wisdom to become the single biggest action movie star of his generation, anchoring multi-billion-dollar franchises that remain culturally relevant to this day. Yet, his insatiable drive did not stop at the borders of Tinseltown. He shattered expectations once again by pivoting into the complex arena of American governance, winning the governorship of the most populous state in the nation and serving 2 historic terms focused on modernization and long-term civic progress. When these 2 extraordinary journeys converged in 2012, it was not a meeting of a superstar and a spectator, but a collision of 2 fiercely driven, highly disciplined minds who shared a profound appreciation for the relentless pursuit of excellence. This shared foundation is precisely why their relationship has managed to withstand the immense pressures, relentless media gossip, and significant age difference that often cause standard Hollywood romances to fracture within a few short years. Milligan did not alter her life or abandon her thriving career to become a mere fixture in the actor's glamorous entourage. Instead, she continued to run her practice, treat her patients, and advance her clinical work with the exact same passion as before. This unwavering commitment to her own purpose provided a profound sense of balance and stability for the aging icon, who had spent decades navigating environments where everyone constantly bent to his will. In Milligan, he found an intellectual equal, a woman whose internal motivation matched his own legendary work ethic, and a partner who loved him for the human being beneath the mythic exterior. Their joint appearance at the Grand Summit in Vienna represents the perfect culmination of their 14-year journey, bringing their private world into direct alignment with their shared devotion to global progress and human well-being. The Schwarzenegger Climate Initiative is not merely a charitable endeavor for the former governor, it is the definitive crusade of his later years, a monumental effort to unite international leaders, corporate innovators, and everyday citizens in the urgent mission to build a sustainable future for generations to come. By stepping into the bright lights of the summit alongside international luminaries like Kamala Harris and Alexander Van der Bellen, Milligan sent a powerful, unspoken message of solidarity to the entire world. Her presence signaled that she is not only a supportive partner in the quiet corners of their private life, but a dedicated ally in the monumental public causes that define his enduring legacy, proving that their bond is deeply rooted in a shared vision for a better, healthier planet. As the historic event wrapped up and the distinguished guests departed the grand halls of Vienna, the true significance of what the public had witnessed began to resonate deeply across the media landscape. This rare glimpse into their world showed a partnership built not on the fleeting allure of celebrity status or the superficial metrics of public relations, but on a bedrock of profound love, mutual respect, and an unshakable commitment to protecting each other's independence. For 14 years, they have successfully written their own rules, proving that it is entirely possible to maintain a deeply fulfilling long-term romance under the shadow of global fame by simply prioritizing what is real over what is performative. As they return to the quiet sanctuary of their private life, away from the flashing cameras and the clamoring journalists, the story of the legendary action icon and his brilliant, fiercely independent therapist stood as a beautiful reminder that the most powerful partnerships are those grounded in mutual respect, quiet devotion, and a shared journey toward a meaningful purpose.